Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Vox. Tracy here and to another whip along with me. So I'm going to just adjust the screen so that it looks down a bit more and you can see what I'm working on, which as much as I can do. So let's hike the seat up. We'll hike up the seat and then you can see a bit better. So I'm still working on this. This is a blanket that I've been doing if you've just joined me, and it's made with Yarn Art Flowers. And so I have and I have an allergy to wool, and so I kind of work on it for about an hour or so, and then I have to kind of leave it for a little while and then come back to it. And if I do that, then I'm fine and it doesn't affect me too much. So yeah, I've got this far in, and once I've finished I will do a tutorial for it. So I've got a drink. This is just a diet Coke or fizzy. Actually it is cream soda flavour. It's really nice actually. I don't know if it's Coke or Pepsi. I think it's Pepsi, I'm not sure. But I'm not advertising for them, so it doesn't really matter unless they want to send me lots of it because I love it, which I doubt. So let's get on. So if I can remember how I start my row. It's been a while since I touched this, but I do need to get it done so I can get that tutorial finished, or even get that tutorial started. So let's see. Yeah, we'll just go straight over. That's it. Nice and simple. So yeah, I've been busy today. I've been filming a tutorial for my year of motifs, which is a follow-on from my year of granny squares, but I'm just opening it up to all shapes and sizes and things. So I did that today, and then they discontinued one of the magazines, and one of my subscribers, who's been very kind to let me know her horror story that she's had with the company, and I really must check out that I'm not following in similar lines, but I haven't had the opportunity yet. I've been really busy, and this chair just goes down in increments, so I probably will find myself back where I was, which is annoying. Anyway, so because one of them has discontinued, what I've done is I've done an open with me for one of the new books on the market. And so that as well I've filmed. Apart from that, what have I done? Washing. Putting away, folding, and a whole new lot. So this is made with Yarn Art Flowers. And I'm at this stage of the cake. So it's a bit... well, I'm not convinced it's not going to end in a yarn bath, but we'll see. I'm really hoping not, because I'm useless at that. I don't mind admitting that I am absolutely useless with tangles of any kind. Fairy lights, yarn, the whole lot. I just cannot. I just look at it and just want to tear it all apart. I can't do it. I'm just not very... Having said that, when I don't have anybody else, I have been known to sort of sit down calmly and do it, but it's not something I enjoy. Whereas my mum used to be so good at it. She used to not mind doing any kind of tangles. I think she came from the generation that did the make, do and mend thing. So she would go to thrift stores, as you guys call them across the pond, or charity shops, as we call them, and she would buy other people's knitted stuff, undo it, make new garments out of it. Or even things she didn't want to wear anymore, she would just take them apart. And so she was used to unravelling. And, of course, when things have already been made into something, especially knitting, have you ever tried undoing it? It's quite a curly piece of yarn that comes out, because it's in that shape for so long that it's got memory. So yeah, I'm not very good with the tangles, so I'm hoping beyond all hopes that this doesn't descend into a nasty mess. So the other thing I was doing was sorting through some emails, and yeah, there's one company that's kind of owes Gary and I compensation, and it's just trying to wriggle out of it, and that's British Airways. I don't know if you remember when we went to Las Vegas, if you were watching me at that time, we had a flight delay of 3 days, and you know, they're duty bound to compensate you for your expenses as well, because the tour operator put us in a hotel at the airport, which was extremely boring. There's nothing to do. And if we just, you know, we didn't really want to go into London and do all those things, because the money that we had, we wanted to enjoy it on our holiday, not in London, you know, or spend getting to London. So obviously we built up expenses there, and when we were first put there, they said save all your receipts because you will need to claim them back. But they are really trying all they can to wriggle out of it, and I know why. Because just recently there's been so many things happen where people have been entitled to compensation. I really should have done it at the time, but I didn't. And now, you know, they're kind of licking their wounds with all the compo that they've had to dish out for various things. So I should have done it. I know, but it's just one of those time-consuming things. And, you know, these things, they go on and on and on, which is very, very annoying. Anyway, guys, enough of that. So, I'm really enjoying working on this. It is a shame that I'm allergic to wool. I don't find this too scratchy, usually if I'm working on something that's got wool in it. And I'll know if it's going to cause me aggravation because my fingers start to feel a prickle, even though it's soft. It's just certain parts of it start to prickle my hands. And if I work on this for too long, I start to feel that. But if I just do maybe an hour and a half or an hour here and there, leave it for a day or two and then come back to it, then everything is fine. Yeah, so what are you guys working on? Anything? Oh, hang on a minute. Have I done something wrong here? Maybe. I don't know that I did. No, I didn't. Just me. So yeah, what are you working on? Have you got anything on the go at the moment? I have too many things on the go at the moment, and too many things that I want to make as well as those things. And not enough time. And also, when I do have time, I quite often procrastinate and do other things. And afterwards, I think, all that time that you spent watching TV, you could have been doing that. But you know, who wants to work all day and all evening? You know, you need some time as a breather, and that's, if otherwise, you know, you start to get a little bit, just concentrate on doing the channel and nothing else, and that's no good. No good at all. Okay, so this it's a good, actually it's not a bad one to watch TV by, but you know, obviously I've got that problem where I'm allergic, so that kind of stops me from doing it too often. But I could have done some, I guess. I know I'm looking at it now, and I'm also hiding my little microphone, so hopefully the sound's been fine. Yes, I have new equipment, and it's the same as my old equipment, only more modern, and it came with a little microphone this time. So I'm giving it a try because, well, why not? You know, I know if things aren't broke, why'd fix them, but you know, that's what it came with, so I thought I would give it a try and get used to doing it. Plus, it's good for when you take this one out and about, and you can use it just on phones or on cameras, just Bluetooths, which is brilliant. We're getting to the pink. We're still at lilac at the minute, but it's going. It is. Oh, hang on, I did the wrong stitch. That's the trouble when you do these things on camera and you talk. You know, there's a danger of mistakes. I did that on my scarf, which I still haven't finished. I noticed that I had to frog quite a bit back because I'd done the wrong thing. And it's just, you know, that's the thing when you're not fully concentrating on it. So we're going on a little holiday soon. We're going to Cornwall. And, well, we're going to 2 parts in Cornwall, but one of them is to see Gary's son Jamie. And where he lives, just up the road from him, they filmed Poldark, and we loved that area. And we want to go back there, so we're going to do that. But a few days before we get to Jamie's, we're going to stay at Tintagel because we want to see all the sites around there. So I will film it, but having said that, I haven't actually put on all of the films from my last trip yet because I've got to sort through them, and like I said before, it's time. Plus I want to sort out all of the photographs, because we've got this service in the UK called Free Prints, and not only that is pulling it slightly, so it's a bit too much resistance to my normal crocheting. So yeah, Free Prints, you can not only get so many free prints per week, you can get little picture books, you know, sort of photo books and other things. You can also buy stuff like tiles, mugs, all kinds of stuff from them. But they are pretty good, and I haven't used them for a long time. Used to use them all the time when the kids were little. Not my kids, the grandchildren. But no, I haven't used them in ages, and I really must start using them again. So, nearly at the end of another row. So what else has been going on in my life? I am on a diet, and it's only been, I guess, about a week now since I started it. I'm back to doing low carbing after the holiday, and I've lost 10 pounds so far. I've only weighed myself really once, or twice, to be honest, because I weighed myself a couple of days before I should, and then at the end of the week. So, but I'm trying not to weigh myself all the time. Oh, it's just got a little tad lighter, this one stitch, the little tad lighter. I love the Yarn Art Flowers and all of these kind of cakes like this, but it's just that wool. But Gary bought me these for Christmas one year. He got me these cakes, which are obviously blues going all the way through purples and lilacs to pink. We're not at the pink yet. And he also got me one that was very similar but a different way around. Different kind. It had a little bit more colour in it, I think. And then he bought me one that was totally different. I think it was orangey. So I will try my best to do the same, you know, use them up in this similar way. That wasn't quite right, was it? I get confused because I haven't touched it for some time. That was actually right. Goodness gracious, woman. Whoops. So we've got really weird weather at the moment. It just does not know what it wants to do. 1 minute we've got sunshine, the next minute it's cold. And I mean actually put your heating on type cold. And or put on socks and a jumper cold. Which of course I never put a jumper on. But yeah, it's weird. And the other day we had hailstones and thunder. But apparently we're just on the wrong side of the Gulf Stream. But I've seen all these reports about asteroids hitting the Earth in fireballs, and without only just a few minutes warning that they're coming. And also, I see another one saying that we're going to have quite a hefty El Nino weather sort of system. I haven't really looked at the videos. I've just seen the thumbnails on my sources that I usually watch, but I haven't got round to watching them yet. But Ray's Astrophotography has been touching upon the asteroids hitting the Earth. We seem to be getting quite a lot of asteroids lately, coming along, and little fireballs coming through, and debris fields and stuff. I don't know if that's something to do with 3i Atlas or not, but we're definitely getting a bit more than usual activity and all that. The computer just woke up. I think the yarn must have woke it up. Well, actually, I don't think it woke up as such as Screensaver woke up, so it actually went to sleep. Think about it. The opposite. Oops, my yarn over didn't work. I'm getting hot now. I had the heating on earlier, really, I did. And but it's got a nice straight edge. It doesn't look it when you hold it up like that. Sorry, I'm covering the mic up, but it says have a nice straight edge to it. Trouble is when you're doing this and you're sitting on this chair, normally I sit on the sofa and it rests in my lap, but doing this, the actual weight of the project pulls down, and it's harder to work on for that reason. But at least it's a simple kind of pattern that, apart from when you first pick it up and you think, oh, how do I start and finish the rows? Well, it's only because I haven't touched it for a while. But it's once you get in, it's not too bad. It's a nice little blanket, really, because it's not massively holey, this pattern, this stitch. And as I say, I will do a tutorial, but I've got to get it done first, really. At least some of it, to get to the stage where it's almost finished. I haven't done a blanket pattern for a long time. Used to do them all the time, but I haven't really done a blanket for a long time. I think the last one I did was one of my squares, when I did Year of Granny Squares. And I did the spiky one. But if I'm honest with you, I'd made those squares before. And then I just decided to incorporate it when I did a spiked granny. So I'd already made all of those. All I had to do was put them together. I've got several projects that are like that, where I could just finish it. Like I've got a Captain America blanket that I really do need to make for Gary's niece. And all I've got to do are the Captain America squares. And once I've got them, just need to lay it down and decide how I'm going to put it together. But all of the tutorials that I've done so far for it are on there waiting for the rest to be finished. And so that's what I'm at that stage with quite a few things. So earlier on, I went out into the yarn van when I was, I sort out my next things, like my next last chance yarns, which if you haven't seen are rock bottom prices, and I do them all the time because I really do need to make some space. But while I was out there and I was I thought, I'll look through this box. I haven't looked in there for a while, and it just had some of my yarn in it. It was actually, when I say a box, it is a box, but it's not a cardboard box. It's just one of those grey boxes that usually fit in these cubes. And when I looked in there, there was quite a lot of different cotton yarns that I'd been thinking, oh, maybe I'll do that, in the summer. And when I looked in there, there was a project that I was making, and it was a wearable, and it was just kind of what they call a festival top that I was working on years and years ago. The tutorials are there on my computer and filmed so long ago that if I were to use it, then some of the tutorial would be filmed on an old wooden table and the rest would be on the table I've got now. So it's a bit odd. But I can't tell you. I also have a bag that I was working on ages and ages ago, and it's a cotton bag, and there are several tutorials on there already for it. And the same thing applies. It was made with some Aldi cotton yarn that I'd got years and years ago, and I still haven't finished it. And do you know, the stupid thing was, I was only really needing to either sew it all together. I think I sewed it together, to be honest with you. I just either couldn't make my mind up whether I was going to line it, and all I needed to do was put the handle on, and I still haven't done it. And all the tutorials are there waiting for me to finish them. So it's not just projects that are there waiting for finishing. There are actual tutorials that I've filmed. And well, the stupid thing is, I've probably changed surfaces like tables about 3 times since I started some of those. So they're pretty old, but you know, life takes over sometimes. I think as well, having a channel, you know, you've got to constantly feed the beast. So you move on too quick to the next thing. It's like that stool. My stool is sitting out there, and I use it in the yarn van. It's just sitting there, just saying, please use me. You know, you started me, finish it. Yeah, I know. And I think we're all kind of, well, some people are very disciplined and start one thing only when they've finished another. But usually people who do that have learnt their lesson of having too many WIPs to finish. But not me. I have to do it, I guess, because there's always something to move on to and make. Oh, that is pulling. Come on. It's because it's the squidgy bit inside now. Still on this lavender section. It's very nice yarn. It's soft. It's beautiful. I'm not making this for anybody in particular. I'm making it for you guys. That's who I'm making it for the channel. But one of these days, I guess a baby will come along. I've got several of blankets, and they're all in one of those tubs in the yarn van, and some are in a different one. I've got quite a lot, and there are times when I make something for somebody, so I haven't got it to show you anymore, or I've made it like blankets for family, and then they're gone. But these ones, they're just sitting there waiting for one of them to tell me they're having a baby. It's not happened, guys. It really hasn't happened. But they just sit there waiting and waiting and waiting. So, yeah, not likely to happen anytime soon, I don't suppose. If at all. But I'd like it to, you know. I guess it's easy to say, you know, I'd want more grandchildren, but it's, you know, for them people, it's children. It's not. Oops, hang on. It's falling. It's just getting quite heavy. Let's pull out some more yarn and get a bit of drink. Here we go. So I used to put a straw in this, but I'm going to just drink it. Oh, that's lovely. Really nice, but I've got wet hands. That is the only thing, and hang on, I'm going to have to try it on me. It's only condensation, but, you know, can't really let it make the yarn a bit weird, wouldn't it, to try and, you know, when things get either sweaty or just wet, just a bit clammy, not nice to crochet. So I've been thinking of getting my knitting needles out recently. There's a yarn behind me, and I'll show you it in a minute if I can. Well, no, I know I can. It's just, you know, when I've done this, that I want to knit something with. It's very fat yarn, and I don't know, I just don't seem to really want to crochet very fat yarn. I don't like the bulk of the stitch. But knitting, that's not too bad. But yeah, I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do with it though. I've got a couple of really nice big fat yarns. Uh-oh, got stuck. So do you guys knit as well as crochet, or do you just crochet? I know that there are some people that are so staunchly into the crochet that if a person on their channel has knitting as well, they get a lot of complaints. And I know that's happened to quite a few of the larger YouTubers have had this happen. So I've never knitted on here. I did start a knitting channel, but I haven't really done very much with it because time is a factor. At the time I had started that, I also started my shop, and I can't really spread myself so thin. And I haven't done anything with any of my other channels. In fact, I've stopped pushing them. You know, when I say pushing, but you know, when you look in the description box, I used to put in there about subscribing to my other channels. I don't do that anymore. Take them out when I can, you know, because I usually just cut and paste the inside blurb. So yeah, I do try now just take them out because I'm not actually creating anything on there, and I don't know if I'll ever come back to doing it or not. There we go. Look how big it is. It's getting there. Getting there. So this stitch, I like it, but I didn't do. When I first sort of thought about using this stitch, it wasn't one that I liked. So what I did was I rejigged it so that it had straight edges and a straight bottom, rather than all the bulky flappy bits that used to be there. Well, I decided that I wanted it to be nice and neat, so that's what I did. And I've got so many things as I do a stitch tutorial, or you know, when I was doing my year of granny squares, and I'd start, I might want to make this with that, and I just haven't had the time to do that. I've definitely got the yarn, there's no two ways about it, but not so much the time. So if you're familiar with my shop, Hobby Rocks, I've actually now sold out of the dark rainbow in the Picasso, which is quite sad because I used to have a cubby there with all of mine in it, and then in this one was the light coloured one was over there. But now you can see that cubby is Grogu's cubby, because all of the Picasso in the dark colours I've sold out. And not only did I sell out, I put all mine in there. It was in packets. It was exactly like brand new yarn. But when people would message me in my shop and say, oh, are you going to get any more of that yarn in stock? Because I really, really want it. And I think, oh, I'll put some in. And then I put a bit more in. And then I put a bit more in. And in the end, I think like, might as well just put the last bit in. Because I'm, you know, and it wasn't like I was going to use it anytime soon. So I figured just put it all in then. And then the first of the light coloured Picassos, well, I still have some of that because that's my yarn, and I don't really want to put that in. But there's a new light coloured rainbow in there now, so that can stay in the shop. I've got some for me. I put them in my tutorials from time to time. But the one that I'm quite surprised that hasn't gone is the blue one, the blue and green. And I really need to make something with that, because then everyone can see what it works up like. But all the pink one, the lilac one, they're all kind of, even the new purple shades one, they all sell quite well. But I still have rather a lot of the blue one. But I know it's because I always order so much so I can have some myself. And as you lot know, I do love blue. So yeah. Well, I will make something with it though. I think I've done a few, you know, like when I did the year of granny squares and stuff like that. And I did a few little things with it, or stitch tutorials where I did that dripped down there. Got wet arm. So yeah, I did a few little things like that with it. But it does help people see how these things work up if I use them. So I do try. I used to sell Yarn Art Flowers, but so using this doesn't. I think it might be one cake left or something stupid in the sale. So yeah, if you haven't found the sale, if you look on the sale or clearancey section of my website, some of these last chance yarns are ridiculously low prices. Some of them have gone, but they're ongoing. I'm constantly doing them, and they're not discontinued yarns. Occasionally you'll get a discontinued yarn there, but 9 times out of 10 they are current yarns that other shops are selling a lot more. But I need to make space. I definitely need to make space before I get any more yarns in. So, and the other thing is that the Firefly, I'm out of stock of my blue one again. And again, I had a pack of that for myself. And what did I do? Put it in the shop. So I don't have any now. So next time I order the Firefly, I've got to get my own again. The blue one. I love that blue one. It's so nice. And the green one, the Mayfly. Oh my God, that is so good. I need to make something with them. In fact, I've got a bag on the go with one of them. But I did do a tutorial a little while ago using some of it. And it was a stitch tutorial. And somebody, I did say, if this is too dark, I need you guys to let me know and maybe I'll do it again. And I did get one person, at least, give me the feedback that it was too dark. So, yeah, it's hard to make a tutorial with them. But maybe I can make my bag that I'm doing and then show that when I do the tutorial in something much lighter. That's probably the way to go with it. Because otherwise it would just be too dark for people to see. And that's annoying. We're getting through this. I want some more drink, but I know it's just wet. I know drink's meant to be wet, but not the outside. That's not where I want it to be wet. But because I brought it out the fridge and put it in that beaker. I got that beaker at Starbucks. It's meant for their frappes and stuff like that. But obviously I don't kind of drink that stuff anyway. I have been drinking coffee of late. You know me, biscuit tea. But I have 1 coffee a day. And it was mainly because doing low carb plays havoc with my digestion, shall we say. And so the 1 cup of coffee a day does help me. And I use cream with it, so I can have cream. But I was a bit, I don't know, fancied something last night. So I had blueberries with sugar-free jelly and cream. So I probably had too much cream yesterday. Oh well, I have to bring it back today where I don't do it. That's the trouble with me. I have a very sweet tooth. I'm not savoury. You know, when people say, oh, I'd rather have savoury, I just think, I wish that was me. I do, because it's not. You know, it's definitely into the sweet stuff, which is annoying because once I start on it, I usually can't kind of break that chain again. So I'm going to make sure that I don't have desserts because, you know, well, even if it is sugar-free jelly and blueberries, I put them in my diet really just to change things so that it's not the same all the time. So I've had my little change in that direction. I don't think I want to do it for a while. But I did buy some monkey nuts to do that. And I don't know if where you come from you call them monkey nuts. They're just peanuts, really. Peanuts are monkey nuts. I just think that the brand is monkey nuts, perhaps. I don't know. But they are peanuts in their shells. You've got to shell yourself. So they're not salted or anything. Although I am allowed to have salted peanuts. But apparently, you know, I've got this person that I listen to. And he's either Chinese or Japanese. I think he's Japanese. And he's a nutritionist. And he, according to him, you know, if you have walnuts, peanuts, I think it's Brazil's, they actually can make you live longer. Like the actual nutrients help you live longer. So don't stop you getting hit by a bus. You know, that's not really the point, you know, what I'm trying to make. But, you know, don't get any buses and you'll be fine. Fine. Oops, nearly did the wrong thing. Just me being silly. I do have another drink. That's good because I'm thirsty. And that one won't make me wet. So I'm going to have that once I finish this kind of, I don't know, shell. Really a shell. Right, let's have some of this. Now this is a drink. This is water. This is healthy stuff. It's mineral water. Hang on. Oh! It didn't make it to the floor. Tried to escape. I caught it. I'm going to have some more. Hang on. This flasky thing I got on holiday. They did this water offer on the ship because it was a cruise. And if you get this and pay £18, then you can fill it up as many times as you want for the whole cruise. If you have your own bottle, which I did, but I didn't take it with me, then they will fill that up for £10 for the whole cruise. So basically paid £8 for this flask. But the beauty of my flask is that when they filled it up with ice cold water, it stayed ice cold all day. If that's where, you know, until I needed to fill it up again. So what we did was I filled mine up and then I filled up another bottle for going out of it. So we just, you know, it was the only way to do it really. But next time we go, I'll definitely take that with me. Oop, nearly did it wrong. That's better. I'm not so thirsty now. I will drink the other just afterwards so I don't make everything wet. And then I've got a squeaky hook now. I'm going to have to wipe it. Probably got a bit of wet yarn from the tabletop. Don't know. Funny thing was I made a short the other day and I made two. One was silent and the other one had a commentary. And the silent one, somebody put as a comment, squeaky hook. Yes, it was squeaking. I didn't know it was that loud that you could pick it up on on the actual short. But yeah, squeaky hook. Hate it when it squeaks. Makes my teeth feel funny. But I thought that was quite funny. Squeaky hook. And it was one of these. These don't squeak that bad. I mean, they're not known for being squeaky. This is a Tulip Etimo Rose. And I do have those in my shop as well. I stock them because I love them. But I like all of them. Whether it's a rose one, the black and gold one, or a red one. And they do lilac coloured ones now, but I haven't bought them yet. But whatever colour, they're just gorgeous. I love them. They're nice. I think they're better than the amours. I know a lot of people swear by the clover amours, but if I use a clover, I tend to use a soft touch because I think they're better. I don't know why. I mean, I've got them and I use them every now and then. You might see them in a tutorial sometimes if I happen to find it's the size I want. But my hook of choice is always a tulip. I love these things. Pretty cool. And they're such nice colours as well. But they do, when I first started using them, they were too fast for me. And what I mean is they slip so well. It took me a while to adjust to catching it just at the right time, because where I was used to a crochet hook that had resistance, it didn't slip. Whereas this one, it was like, whee! Because they are so shiny. You know, they really are mega shiny. So slippy. And at first it was like everything slipped off all the time. But, you know, you get used to it. Imagine it was like, whee! Off we go. So today I'm cooking. It's one of my turns because Gary's at work. And yesterday it was as well. But he wanted sausages and jacket potato. So Gary and I are following different diets, which makes life a tad difficult, but, you know, not sort of insurmountable, if you know what I mean. Quite often we can have the same food, just done in a different way. So he had that. And I thought I'd got myself out of the freezer some chicken thighs. But when they thawed out, they weren't. They were chicken breasts, but they were like pieces of breast. So they actually did look the sort of shape of a chicken thigh. So I thought, oh, what am I going to do with those? So what I did was I got a big pan, like an oven pan, you know, like an oven dish. And in there, I put my thighs in. And I chopped up pieces of aubergine, eggplant to you guys across the pond. It doesn't look like an egg either. You know why? It's mauve, purple. So anyway, I put in pieces of avocado. No, eggplant. What's it called? Aubergine. Aubergine. Pieces of courgette, which you guys call zucchinis. It's like another language, isn't it? So I put in chunks of that, bits of baby corn, some onion, and a couple of tomatoes, like cherry ones, and and some broccoli. And I just popped, like, they're all cut up really small, so I put them around my chicken, and then I sort of shushed over some olive oil, and then I decided on the herbs and stuff. So I used some peri salt, and then a garlic pepper, and then what was the other thing I put on there? What was it? Oh, herbs de Provence. Yeah, herbs of Provence. And so I put all that in, and I gave it a little zhuzh round, and then just so that it wasn't dry, I gave it a sort of a spritz on top of olive oil. I put it in the oven and I baked it, and it was lovely. It was so good. All the time I'm thinking I'm not looking forward to this because I thought it was going to be chicken thighs, and I bet they're horrible. And then Gary came home and I did the rest of his dinner, made his baked potato in the oven at the same time as my roasted thing. And I dished all of his up, and then I said, oh, get mine out of the oven, will you? So he got it out, and I went, I'm not looking forward to this. And I opened the thing up, and I thought, ugh, don't look very nice. I put it on the plate, and it didn't look too bad once I'd arranged it. And so I sat down, and I thought, here it goes. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely beautiful. I said to Gary, oh my God, this is lovely. So I should definitely make that again. I just shoved it all in and hoped for the best, and it was really good. So that's what I had yesterday. And today we have gammon, like gammon steaks. And Gary can have active fried chips, which are like air fried chips, but they're done in the active fry rather than the Ninja kind of air fryer. And I'll just didn't have breakfast today, so I will have eggs and mushrooms as if it's like a big breakfast, really. And that's what I shall have for my dinner. So I didn't have breakfast today. I just ate the last bit of my, what shall we call it? Chicken à la Provence. That's what I have. It's my dish. I named it. And I had the last of that. I didn't have any vegetables, really. Not only a few bits. But I had the chicken. So that was what I had at lunchtime. So, yeah, no brekkie today. So that I can have breakfast for dinner. I didn't really want to have that twice in a day. So, yeah, it worked out quite well. Chicken à la Provence. Well, I find, don't you find, that those days when you throw stuff in a pot and you just don't know what you're doing with it and you experiment, those quite often the best dinners, aren't they? Well, that's how I learnt to cook when I was younger. Just think, what have we got in the fridge? I know, I just bung this, and this together. And it'll be like, oh, that's nice. We'll have that again. But it's just, I don't really tend to follow recipes when I'm feeling like creative. Just like chuck it all in. See what happens. So I could have sat there and thought, what low-carb foods can I make with chicken breasts and done it. I was actually, before I did that, was going to curry it. I was going to make a madras, like a little madras, because I have some cauliflower rice in the cupboard. I don't really fancy it. Didn't fancy slaving over the stove either. So I just thought, roast some stuff. And as luck would have it, I'd just bought aubergines and I want to call them zucchinis now. What are they called? Courgettes. I wonder why we have such vastly different names for our veggies. It must just be that after the UK was severed from the US, when you got your independence, that's when those vegetables started coming over, and herbs. So that's maybe why we call cilantro, I can't remember, we do call it now. I can't remember, what's it called? I can't remember. But that's probably what it is, that you named things what you call an eggplant when we called it an aubergine, because that's what it's called. And then we called it a courgette because that's probably what it was called in France when we got it. And you guys decided to call it a zucchini because you probably got it from somewhere else, like Italy or something. I don't know. But it is weird, isn't it, how names evolve and stuff like that. I really like that sort of thing, the evolution of words. But yeah, that's the only thing I can think of, that we called them different things because we got them from different places at different times in our lives. Obviously, we got avocados at the same time and they're called avocados. Where's cilantro? The only word that pops into my mind is celeriac, and that isn't the wrong word. It's called something else. Coriander. That's what we call it. It's coriander. But you call it cilantro. Weird. But it makes the life's rich tapestry, doesn't it? Wouldn't the world be boring if everything was as, uniform? So how long have I done this for? 49 minutes. 49 minutes. We'll do one more row then. Hopefully get me to the hour mark. And because I know a couple of you like me to do this for an hour. And also it won't be too hard on my little pandies, hopefully. Just get me a little bit more done though, won't it? Because, I need it done. I needs it done. I thought that I would use both of these cakes for this blanket, but I'm not going to get through both of them for sure. I might need the second one, but I don't think I'm going to get, you know, use all of it, because it's getting a bit fragile. I've got this much. It's quite a lot, actually. It's a tad fragile. I'm really scared about the bath. And it's going to happen on the pink, I know, if it happens. I am really careful to pick it up and wrap it up inside the blanket. And carefully kind of put it in the bag so that it stays kind of like that as much as it possibly can until the next time I get it out. So I've been really, really careful with that. But you know, it's getting very flimsy. I'm hoping it will stay intact. So if you've used these things, like these giant yarn art cakes, have you found they dissolve into bath, or do they they stay intact? Let me know what's happened to you in the past. But I guess you can only tell me if it's a yarn art one, because you know others wind them up just a little bit differently. They all do their own little thing, don't they, in the winding of yarn, caking it up. It's so heavy now, though. Ugh, get over there. If I don't hold it like this, and the weight of it pulls my stitches down, and it makes it harder for me to crochet when it's all getting pulled down. So another thing I have to do is go out and sort out my next last chance yarn. And and another thing I forgot to mention, that I've just reached a milestone, and so now I'm at 36,500 subscribers. Woo! And you know what that means? I did a giveaway for it, and it was a nice one. If you haven't seen it, then seek it out. I'll tell you what, I'll put it up here. If I can remember, it'll be up here. But maybe I'll do that at the end, actually, because if I don't do it now, you won't see the yarn over here that I want to show you. So I'll do that at the end, and then if you want to, you can go to it. I know most of you can find it anyway if you want to. Can't always rely on YouTube to do the, you know, thing that shows you everything. What am I calling it? Notifications. Pardon me, sorry. It's because I gulped that drink. And that one over there is calling my name. It's saying, drink me. You know you love me. It's very nice. So this is definitely a little bit lighter, this row, than the previous. Don't know if it's going to show, but this one here is definitely pinker than this one. So the colour is a changing. It's not far off now, the pink area. We've got a little way of this, and then the next thing will be proper pink. Proper pink. You knew I was going to do that, didn't you? You knew I was going to descend into a Welsh accent when I heard the word proper. Certain words do that to me. Oh, it's squeaking again. Hang on. Let's give it a little... No more squeaky. Do not squeak. Can't be doing with that. Was it? Ain't nobody got time for that. Yep. Right. We're ready. You know, when it comes to how you hold your yarn and your hook, you know, when people say, oh, the way you should do it is this, and then all of a sudden they loop it round with this finger, and then, or when you watch a tutorial, you might see them suddenly start looping it around with that one, and then they do this. How does that yarn move? I just don't understand it. I just rest mine between these two fingers like that, and I just keep my finger close together if I want it to be tighter, let it flow. I can't understand when you're winding it round so many fingers. How can it move? I just don't understand how it moves, but never mind. So very, very soon, I can't wait, Mandalorian and Grogu movies out. And I'm definitely going to see that at least about 6 times, I reckon. Can't wait. Mandalorian and Grogu. Yes. And every time I see that advert for it, and they've got that little Grogu that sits there on the side, and it you know, gestures and moves, it's like, I want one of those. I mean, they're probably thousands, you know, but I want one. They're just so lovely. It'd be like having a real pet, wouldn't it? Real pet Grogu. I need a Grogu. I definitely do. Anyway, I am at the end. Oops, nearly, she says, losing a stitch. So I will show you the yarn that I want to knit with. Maybe you can give me some ideas about if you think it would crochet or what I could knit with it. So just bear with me a sec. This one is one of them. What's that? Box. This is one of them. It's gigantic. Oh, the ball band isn't on it either. Because once these ball bands are off, you're never getting them back on. So this is it. It's kind of like a stone-washed chenille. I know, how weird is that? It's got that stone-washed vibe, but it's chenille. It's 158 metres, and I've got 2 of them. It's called Soft Touch Teddy. It's by Devanti. So I got it at the range when I did one of my yarn quests. So I got these 2. I don't know if I've got any more of this actually. Maybe out in the yarn van. I'm not sure though. Could just be those 2. So we'll leave that there for a minute, because the others are these. And I have this beautiful kind of lilac colour and that silvery grey that you can see there. Because the silvery grey, I got it as a contrast. But look at that. Look how fat that is. It's like rope, guys. Okay, this one's called Pale Lilac Giant Yarn. And the length is 58 metres in this whole gigantic ball. And it's saying I need a 19mm needle for it. That's knitting needle. But look, it's gorgeous. So I have quite a bit of this. I've got, I think, 6 of those and just 2 of the silvery greys, because I figured it would take a lot of yarn to actually make anything at all, because it's not an awful lot of yardage there. So if you have any ideas on what I could possibly make with it, then I'm all ears. I am all ears. So yeah, what do you think? So if I can remember to do it, my giveaway will be up here now. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye for now, guys.